Welcome once more to our video tutorial. This time we're going to look at arrays, parallel one-dimensional array. The presenter is still me, Chigomana, MD. Now, what are these parallel arrays? Right, parallel arrays are two or more arrays whose elements are related by their positions, in other words, by their subscript in the array. This means that they have the same length. They can sometimes have the same data type, but in most instances, they differ in terms of data types. Now let me repeat this. Parallel array are two or more arrays whose elements are related by their positions, in other words, by their subscript in the arrays. This means that they have the same length. They can sometimes have the same data type, but in most instances, they differ in terms of data types. In other words, if, say, for example, one array has 5 elements, the other one, for it to be parallel, it must have also 5 elements. Now let us go and look at an example. Right, here is our example. So what I'm going to show you is how it is working, and thereafter I'm going to show you the steps on how to reach a solution like this. Right, in other words, there was an array that there is an array that holds names, and there is an array that holds salary, there is an array that holds age. Now when you process, all these items are arranged in a table-like format. All these items are arranged in a table-like format. In other words, there are headings here: name, salary, age, and then the list. And then if you click reset, then you clear the list box, and then the headings remains as they are, and then you exit. That is how it works. Now I'm going to show you um, the steps as to how have I reached to that solution. Right, here is the user interface. I've designed the user interface for you, but as always, don't assume that every time the user interface will be designed for you. Right, what we have here, I'm going to show you the names of these things. This is LST display, it's a list box. Right, this is a BTN process, it's a button. Right, this one it's a BTN reset, it's a button. This one is a button, is BTN exit. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start by declaring the arrays. I'm going to start by declaring the arrays. Right, here are my arrays, as name, salary, age. I've declared them explicitly. Now, if you can count the element here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, in other words, what is being said here is that David's salary is 1,000 and he is age 45. Eric's salary is 299 and he is 21. Norman's salary is 3,000 and he is 12. He is 23. So in other words, you know, parallel arrays, they have the same length and they are related in terms of subscript. In other words, this is subscript number 0, this is subscript number 0, this is subscript number 0. In other words, these are related. This is subscript number 1, 1, 1. It means these are related. Right. That is that. I've declared my two arrays and they are parallel. Right, now I'm going to add my heading, and I'm going to do that when the form loads. Now, why am I doing adding the headings when the form loads? Because I want them to be immediately when the form loads, they must be at the top, so that when we click the process button just become it is just under just after the headings. Right, I'm going to double click the forms load event. Right, here is the code for the headings. This is my comment. Right, I have lst display.items.add name dot pedwrite 15, which means that the spaces between name and salary will be 15 characters, and then I pedwrite salary, which means that the space between salary and age will be 15 space. Now there must be a space between the headings and the list, so that is why I have this comment here, add a space between the heading and list. Now it means this one is going to create a gap between the headings and the list that is going to be displayed on the list box. In other words, this is just a space. That is why I didn't even add anything here. It is only a matter of saying, of using common sense to say there must be a space in between. Right, that is that. I hope you understood this. Right, now I'm going to code the process button. Right, I will double click here. Right, here is the code for process. Right, I'm going to add the items to a list box. I'm going to use the for loop statement to display the items. Now what is going to happen is I'm going to cycle through the array. Right, I'm going to use here in line number 19, I'm going to use the lsc display.items add method. Right, I'm going to have s name. Right, what is going to happen here when the for loop runs for the first time? It means I will be equals to 0. This means that um, the for loop statement is going to pick David, right, and then type David and then pedwrite, in other words create spaces. Then on the right hand side, then it's going to have salary. Remember our I is equals to 0, then it means what is going to be picked here is 1000. Then it means the computer is going to type 1000, and then this C here is a format specifier so that this money can be in the form of rands. Then we pedwrite, in other words we create 5 spaces, and then age. Now this age, remember I is equals to 0. Right, it means the computer is going to pick 45. In other words, this is going to be in the form of a table. There will be David, there will be David's salary, which is 1000, there is David's age, which is 45. Now second round, our counter variable, which is I, will be 1, which means that element number subscript number 1 is going to be picked, that is Eric 29921. Then round number 3, the subscript, I mean the counter variable I will be 2, which means nomin is going to be picked, and then we have 3000 and then age 23. Right, I'm not going to repeat the for loop statement. I've already taught you this. And then that is basically what is going to happen here. Right, now let us go and code the reset button. Right, I'm going to code the reset button here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to double click. Right, I double click. Now I have the btn reset click event. Now everything that I'm going to write here is going to happen when I click the reset button. Right, this is the code for clearing the list box. It's lsc display.items.clear. We're using the clear method to clear this list box. Now remember, the headings were loaded when the form was loaded. Now this means that immediately when we click the button, the headings I mean the headings will no longer be there, because the form is not loading, because they were made in such a way that they are loaded when the form loads. It means they are going to be to be cleared. In other words, there will be no headings. Now, in order to reset the heading, we have to repeat the same step that we did when the form load. This means that this will make sure that every time when we load the form, every time when we click the button, the headings will be will be there. Every time when we reset the clear the list box, it means the headings will always be there. This will make sure that every time the headings are there. Right, let me run the program. There is it. When we reset, the reset button makes sure that it clears everything, but the headings are there. Then you process, you reset, the headings are still there. That is basically what I wanted you to learn in this video.